Last time, in Beyond Targets, we spoke about letting go. About stepping beyond achievements, beyond applause, and asking ourselves, what really moves us when all the noise ends?
That's exactly where the Gita's 4th chapter opens its door. Because once you stop chasing results, a new question rises. Who is really doing all this? Is it me, the performer, the achiever, the thinker? Or is there something far vaster, quietly working through me?
So you're saying even our intelligence isn't fully ours? That maybe what we call my idea is actually the universe whispering?
We live like a single cell that thinks it runs the brain. Efficient, proud, unaware that its rhythm depends on a much greater life. When that greater life withdraws, the cell is gone in seconds. So tell me, Jess, who's really in charge?
The cell doesn't know the body, and the wave doesn't realize it is the ocean.
Yes, and that right there is the pulse of chapter 4. Gyan Karma Sannyas Yoga, the yoga of knowledge and renunciation of doership. It begins not with commandments, but with awe. The same cosmic intelligence that keeps the earth spinning for billions of years at the same perfect speed that grows a tiny mustard seed into a living plant, that keeps your heart beating without your permission. That intelligence is acting through you.
So every breath we take, every spark of thought, is the universe expressing itself through us?
Yes, and when you really feel that, the ego softens. You still act, but without strain. You become an instrument, not the initiator. Your work stops being a performance and starts becoming a prayer.
And that's how chapter 4 begins, not as theology, but as memory. A living transmission flowing through time. Krishna tells Arjuna, this wisdom was passed down from the sun to the ancient seers, to kings, to you. It's not a scripture. It's a bloodstream of consciousness. And in the next few moments, we'll hear how that eternal current began, how it was passed, how it was forgotten, and why Krishna must re-speak it right there on the battlefield. Take a breath. Let the noise fall off your shoulders. This is Beyond the Battlefield, Episode 41, The Cosmic Intelligence Within. Let's step into Chapter 4. So the chapter opens with Krishna saying, in verse 1,
I taught this eternal yoga first to the sun, Vivaswan. He passed it to Manu, and Manu taught it to Ikshvaku.
That sounds almost mythic, doesn't it? Light passed from a god to a king to a human lineage.
Yes, but it's not just a mythic story. It's a reminder that wisdom has continuity. Krishna isn't creating something new to convince Arjuna to fight. He's saying, what I offer is eternal. A science that has flowed through ages, from light to life, from soul to soul.
So he's really establishing credibility, reminding Arjuna that this teaching is ancient and proven, not some motivational speech for a battlefield.
Exactly. Because just imparting knowledge is never enough. The listener must trust its source, feel its authenticity. Only then does the teaching ignite into action.
Like a spark needing dry wood, faith is that dryness inside us that lets wisdom catch fire.
There are two ways to learn, Jess. The ascending process and the descending process. In the ascending way, you try to figure it all out yourself. You speculate, experiment, struggle for truth through your own intellect. That's how science moves. Beautiful but slow. You might spend a lifetime and still wonder if you were right, but in the descending way. You receive knowledge from one who knows it fully. Like learning physics from Einstein, instead of starting from fire and stone, truth flows downward, like water from a mountain. Pure, easy and faultless if the channel is clear.
So Krishna is saying, I'm the mountain. You don't have to reinvent the river. Just drink it.
Perfectly said. That's why he mentions Vivasvan, Manu and Ikshvaku, to show that this knowledge has been transmitted through the descending path, unbroken and living. Each age forgets and each age remembers again through a teacher.
But why these names? The sun, Vivasvan, Manu, Ikshvaku. They sound so specific. Is there a hidden meaning?
Yes, this is the inner hierarchy of your own consciousness. Vivasvan, the sun, the first illumination, your pure intelligence. Manu, the mind that receives and organizes that light. Ikshvaku, from Iksh, the eyes that see, and Vak, the speech that acts. Together they mean from illumination to mind to action. Krishna is saying, I have already installed this yoga inside you. It moves through your awareness, your thought, your deed.
So he's not just teaching Arjuna something new. He's awakening what was always there.
Yes, this is why it's called Avyaya Yoga, the imperishable science of union. It's not born, so it can never die. It doesn't belong to religion or era. It belongs to awareness itself.
That makes me think of today's world. Thousands of self-help books, leadership frameworks, corporate workshops. Each year something new, something next. But most of them are built on the ascending process, trial, error, and fatigue.
Right. Organizations do the same. They chase innovation after innovation, forgetting the lineage of learning that made them great in the first place. Krishna's idea of descending knowledge is a leadership blueprint. In a growing company, wisdom must flow down clearly, from purpose to people to processes. When vision is transmitted with clarity and trust, every team member acts not from confusion, but from shared intelligence, like light reflected through many mirrors.
So you're saying growth isn't about adding more layers or targets. It's about keeping the current of understanding unbroken. And that makes even ordinary work sacred, because everyone sees their role as part of something larger.
Yes, that's Krishna's wisdom in the language of modern leadership. Don't just transfer tasks, transmit meaning. When knowledge is inherited with faith, the organization doesn't just scale, it awakens.
So verse 1 isn't just about a divine lineage. It's about how light sustains continuity in humanity, in teams, in every act of creation.
A company without this flow of remembrance forgets its purpose and burns out in short-term brilliance. But when knowledge passes like a flame from one conscious mind to another, growth becomes natural, not forced.
So maybe every great leader, every mentor, is just re-speaking what Krishna said to Arjuna. Remember what you already are, and act from there. So now Krishna says,
This eternal yoga was received through parampara, teacher to student, and the saintly kings knew it that way. But with time, this yoga was lost.
Yes, this verse answers two questions at once, the why and the what. Why is Krishna speaking again? Because the current of wisdom, the living parampara, has thinned. People remember the rituals, but not the reason. They can recite but they've forgotten how to realize. So he must restart the current. And what is he teaching? Not a new philosophy, but the same timeless science of yoga that once guided Rajarsis. Leaders who ruled not by ambition, but by awareness. It's the art of governing outer life from inner stillness.
So he's saying, this isn't motivation, it's restoration.
The teaching is ancient, the reminder is urgent. Krishna's word parampara means the chain of light, knowledge passed, not through documents, but through presence. When that presence weakens, the form remains, but the life goes out of it. That's what he means by yoga nashta, the connection lost.
Like when a great company keeps its systems but loses its spirit.
The soul of leadership is continuity of meaning. When vision becomes routine and culture becomes checklist, the parampara breaks. Every organization faces the same two questions Krishna answers here. Why must a leader speak again? Because clarity fades, new generations join, priorities shift, and the original purpose gets buried under noise. A leader must reignite the why again and again. That's how culture stays alive. And what should a leader really teach? Not just procedures or goals, but the principle that unites them. That is the modern yoga, the integration of purpose and performance.
So when Krishna speaks again, he's doing exactly what a great founder or mentor does, returning the team to its original pulse.
Yes, because growth without remembrance is just expansion. Growth with remembrance becomes evolution.
So the yoga was lost doesn't mean the words vanished. It means the experience faded.
Wisdom isn't what we store, it's what we live. That's why Krishna restarts the parampara, to turn knowing back into being.
And every leader, every teacher faces the same sacred duty, to keep the lineage alive in spirit, not just in structure.
Yes, whenever you act from awareness, you restore the chain. You become both student and teacher, both link and light.
So verse 2 explains it beautifully, why Krishna must speak again and what he speaks, the eternal yoga that reconnects heaven and earth, teacher and disciple, leader and team.
Yes, the wisdom was never lost, only the listening. And Krishna's voice is what brings the world back to hearing.
Krishna now turns to Arjuna and says,
This same ancient yoga I have spoken to you today, for you are my devotee and my friend. This is the supreme secret.
It almost feels intimate. Out of all people, why Arjuna?
That's the beauty of it, Jess. Krishna isn't just giving knowledge, he's giving trust. He chooses Arjuna not because he is perfect, but because he's open. People often ask, why not give this to a brilliant Brahmin in a quiet ashram? Why a warrior standing in chaos? Krishna's answer lives between the lines of this verse. The world had become adharmic, out of balance. Knowledge locked away in mountains would not heal the world. If he taught a scholar, the teaching would die in meditation halls. But if he taught a warrior, one grounded in life and duty, the wisdom could walk back into the marketplace of humanity.
So he wanted the knowledge to move, not just shine. To reach people who live in the noise, not beyond it.
The Gita was never meant for escape, it was meant for engagement. Krishna chose Arjuna because he carried both devotion and discipline. The heart of a seeker and the hands of a doer.
And Krishna calls this the supreme secret. What's the secret, Ankur?
That truth isn't reserved for the silent. It's revealed to the sincere. When devotion and friendship meet, the ego melts and learning becomes transmission. That's why he says, "You're my devotee and my friend." The secret is simple but sacred. God teaches through closeness, not command. Wisdom enters not through fear but through friendship. This verse holds a leadership lesson too. Information flows through hierarchy, but wisdom flows through trust. You can't inspire people by authority alone. You earn their hearts by connection.
So, a leader who shares from power creates followers. A leader who shares from friendship creates successors.
When you build relationships of respect and care, you recreate what Krishna created with Arjuna. A space where truth can land and grow. That's why he didn't speak to a Brahmin in silence. He spoke to a leader amid conflict. Because the world changes when wisdom enters action.
So the yoga he gives Arjuna isn't new. It's the same light finding a new lamp.
Yes, every time a heart opens in trust, the Gita is spoken again. Krishna isn't a person in history. He is the voice of awareness itself, speaking through any leader who acts with clarity and compassion.
So this is why he chose Arjuna. Because when wisdom reaches the battlefield, the world changes, not just the soul.
Yes, the supreme secret isn't hidden in monasteries. It lives in moments of courage, trust, and love.
And next, Arjuna asks a question only a true friend would dare ask God. How can you, my companion today, have taught this at the beginning of time?
Yeah, but before we go there, there's something quietly astonishing about where we've arrived. At this very point, chapter 4, verse 3, Krishna's teaching has reached its 108th verse. Because while the Gita began in chapter 1, Krishna's actual teaching began in chapter 2, verse 11. And from there, through every line, every silence, every insight, he has now spoken exactly 108 verses.
108, the number of completion. The sacred count of every mala, every mantra, every journey of remembrance.
In the spiritual sciences, 108 isn't random, it's rhythm. The rishis saw it as the cosmic ratio between the seen and the unseen. 108 beats, 108 heartbeats, 108 steps in a temple staircase. Each one a breath closer to awakening. The distance between Earth and Sun, about 108 times the Sun's diameter. The distance between Earth and Moon, 108 times the Moon's. There are 108 Upanishads, each a gateway to the Absolute. Even in yoga, 108 represents the union of body, mind and consciousness. One is the one reality. 0 is the empty perfection. 8 is infinity turned upright.
So by verse 3, Krishna's first cycle of wisdom completes, a full circle of 108, like finishing one round on the japa mala before beginning the next mantra of revelation.
Yes, and how fitting. Verse 3 was about trust and transmission. The moment the teaching completes its first full cycle, Krishna affirms that he speaks again to Arjuna. Because love, friendship, and faith have kept the lineage alive.
It's as if he's saying, one complete round of awakening, and now we begin again, but from a higher frequency.
108 is not the end, it's the threshold. A pause in the eternal chant before the next movement of light begins. In leadership too, this is the moment between phases, when the first cycle of growth completes and a new one begins. Not with more effort, but with deeper alignment.
So every 108, in life, in work, in growth, is a checkpoint. A reminder to pause, honor what's been learned, and prepare for a subtler dimension of the same journey.
Yes, and that's where we stand now. At the 108th verse of wisdom, where sound becomes silence and teaching becomes transmission.
From this point on, the Gita will reveal something far deeper, not just what Krishna teaches, but who Krishna truly is. And so, the friend finally speaks. In verse 4, what every rational mind must ask, "Your birth is now, Krishna. The sun gods was long ago. How could you have taught him in the beginning of time?"
This is such a beautiful moment, Jess. It's not rebellion, it's reverence with awareness. Arjuna isn't doubting Krishna's divinity. He's trying to understand how the eternal expresses itself through the present.
It's such a human question, isn't it? Even when we feel the divine, we still ask for logic. How can something infinite fit inside this moment?
True. Faith doesn't cancel intellect, it invites it to evolve. Arjuna is the first rational mystic, devoted enough to listen, intelligent enough to ask. What he's really asking is, who are you, truly? Because if Krishna's words are eternal, then Krishna cannot just be a man. And that's where the Gita shifts, from guidance to revelation. The friend on the chariot is about to unveil that he is the consciousness behind all teachers. He has taken form again and again, each time the world forgets.
So this is the first hint of the timeless Krishna, the one who returns whenever wisdom fades.
Yes, he's not claiming personal greatness, he's revealing cosmic continuity. He's saying, don't look at this body. See the awareness that flows through it. That awareness has spoken through every age, in every language of truth. In leadership, this verse is the mirror moment. When a team looks at its mentor and asks, how do you know what you know? And a true leader answers not with authority, but with perspective. Because I walked this before. Maybe not in this form, but in essence.
So Krishna's timelessness isn't about rebirths, it's about relevance. He's saying truth never ages. Only the messengers change.
The best leaders aren't trapped by their titles or timelines. They speak from experience that feels ancient because it's universal. Their wisdom doesn't expire. It evolves.
So Arjuna's question is really the leader's test. Can you trust what seems too vast for logic and still ask, so your heart can truly know?
Yes, Krishna welcomes that question because the divine never fears doubt, it transforms it into discovery.
So here stands Arjuna, his mind questioning, his heart trembling, and the friend beside him is about to reveal a truth that stretches beyond lifetimes.
In the next verse, Krishna answers not just Arjuna's question, but humanity's oldest one. Who am I really?
So this is where we pause tonight. Arjuna, the warrior, the friend, the seeker, has just asked a question that even eternity must answer. Krishna, you stand beside me now, yet you speak of ages past. How can that be?
And with that single question, time itself trembles. For the first time, Arjuna isn't asking about battle or duty. He's asking about being. Who is this friend beside him? And what does it mean for something divine to walk inside the limits of time?
Every listener, every seeker knows that moment when reason reaches its edge and silence begins to speak.
That silence is where Krishna's next words will arise. Words that reveal how the eternal takes form, how consciousness chooses to return when Dharma fights.
In our next episode, we enter that revelation, the mystery of timelessness, the secret of divine renewal, and what it means for a leader to be born again, not in body, but in awareness. Till then, carry this with you. True wisdom is not learned once. It is remembered again and again. You've been listening to Beyond the Battlefield, Bhagavad Gita for Modern Leadership. If today's reflection resonated with you, follow, share, and keep this dialogue alive. You can explore companion insights, behind-the-scenes notes, and interactive reflections on our Beyond the Battlefield GPT link in the episode description. And we'd love to hear from you. Write to us anytime at beyondthebattlefield@outlook.in to share your thoughts, experiences, or questions for future episodes. Until next time, stay curious, stay conscious, and keep leading from the battlefield within.